Hello and welcome. My name is Sam Morris, and I am here today to help you explore and find your niche. Many people struggle to find their niche, so by the end of our time together today, I hope that you have a pathway to finding yours. So let's get going. The Oxford Dictionary defines a niche as a specialised segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service, or denoting products, services, or interests that appeal to a small specialised section of the population. For a coach, a niche represents a specialised area of expertise and focus within their coaching practice. And this is tailored to serve a distinct group of clients with specific needs and goals. So, could your niche be women in business? Could it be balding men? Or could it be singles? I hope you didn't say yes to any of those as niches because they are actually your target audience. And this is a common misconception about niche. Ricky Van Veen said, I think a mistake a lot of people make is to identify a target audience and then work backwards into creating a product for them. And Ricky, I agree with you. You see, your niche is the product or services you provide, and that's where we're going to start. Products or services could include things like online Reiki, perhaps course creation, even psychic readings for dogs. But those are very, very broad products and services. And one unique niching method that I'm going to talk to you about today is micro niching. So I want you to consider narrowing down to a highly specialized subgroup. Micro niching is where you focus on a subset of a niche. For example, if you're in the health industry, you could micro niche down to diets for a particular type of heart condition. As a business coach myself, I have niched down to AI and tech tools for business. Micro niching means you'll be able to build relationships really quickly because you're talking to a really small community in which you can become the expert. Now, I know there is a lot of fear around niching, but I want to argue the point that as a coach, a lot of time is spent trying to sell to people who are not our ideal clients with a product that is so broad, it can't give real results. And I want you to take away from this today that you need one solution for one problem. Now, another method for niching is to create a hybrid niche. And this is where you can let your creativity run wild by mixing seemingly unrelated niches to uncover a really unique angle. With hybrid niching, the possibilities are really endless. You'll stand out from the competition and you will catch your target audience's attention because you're blending different solutions. So I want you to try creating products. And when I say products, I use products and services interchangeably. But when you create your products or services that appeal to multiple niches, like multiple audiences, think about things like combining pet care with home decor because pet owners really appreciate style and they're two very unrelated things and yet they're not. You could even try hybrid niching in parts of your business that exist already. So think about mixing up different features and benefits from multiple products and services you've already got because this is like having a secret weapon to outsmart your competition and surprise your customers with something they weren't expecting. And there is trend based niching. So I want you to tap into emerging trends in your industry and create your niche product. Some industry trends for coaching right now are virtual coaching and financial wellness and lifestyle design. Using these trends as a starting point, you can create an offering that will appeal to clients looking for specific services related to their goals. For example, if you focus on virtual coaching, you can provide remote support sessions on Zoom and Google Meet, and you can do online learning modules, and that opens up the entire world to your services. Maybe your focus is financial wellness, and you could be offering budgeting workshops and financial planning resources. Maybe lifestyle design is where you're at, and you could be creating a package of online courses to help clients achieve their desired lifestyle. But no matter what industry you are in, make sure that the products and services you provide are relevant to your target market. Research existing products in your space and get an idea of what's already out there and working for the competition, because you might find that something is missing. This is another place where people get confused around niche and target market. I don't want you to choose a target market and find and create a product that is missing in that target market. I want you to create a product or service that is missing from your industry and then find the target market for that product or service. Now, we all know that over COVID, we all suffered a severe loss of connection. So, community building as a niche is doing wonderful things in the coaching space now. Creating niches around communities provides support to groups of people in a focused community. And this is where you're going to be appealing to a very targeted audience. So, take the time to understand the needs and interests of a community and how your products and services can meet those needs. And there are experience centric niches. And I'm going to go with the travel industry for this one as an example. And that's because when you think about experiences, I immediately think of travel, but you can be experience centric travel can be quite a crowded marketplace. But if you're a travel coach, you think about, for example, I'm in Melbourne. You could offer a tour of Melbourne, but you're competing against a lot of other tour companies. So, what about doing tours of Melbourne on the back of an elephant? That is very, very specific experience, and that is very experience centric niche. So, think about how you can do things a little bit different to create an experience that's unique for people. And of course, there are outcome focused niches. And this is where your product or service is focused on a particular outcome. And the obvious choice here is, of course, the weight loss industry, because the outcome is to be healthier, to be fitter, to lose weight, to fit into clothes. There are so many benefits here, but the focus is on the outcome. And there are ethical and social impact niches. Now, if this is an important part of your business, then lean into how your services or products are ethical or create social impact. I have a client who helps others become environmentally sustainable in their homes, and she does this by going and doing an in home assessment. So, how are you unique? Have you asked yourself that question? If you don't know how to answer that question, I want you to begin by writing down what your passions and expertise are. What excites you the most? What are you best at? Because being an expert doesn't mean having certificates and doctorates and years of experience. It just means that you know more than the people that you want to work with. Then ask yourself, who is your ideal audience? You want to understand their characteristics. You want to understand your ideal audience is essential to creating products and services that resonate. So, once you understand who you're talking to and you understand what your product and service can do for people, it's so much easier to create meaningful conversations and build relationships with them. So remember, create your niche product first, and then understand the audience that it serves. Then you want to make sure that you've identified the problem that you are uniquely qualified to solve. And again, I want you to detach qualification from pieces of paper because you can use your skills, your experience, or your lived experience and understanding to create products and services that speak directly to the needs of your audience. And of course, you have to consider market demand. Is there a demand for your niche? You need to analyze the market. You need to do things like review your competitors' websites, get insights from surveys, jump into conversations on social media, jump into forums and find out what people are talking about. You need to assess industry trends. You need to read news, read research that's relevant to what you're doing because all of this information is going to help you to create your own unique positioning statement. And that sets you up for success in your marketplace. And speaking of competitors, what are they doing? And how can you stand out? And you need to look a little bit deeper than just what's on the surface. And of course, when you have gathered all of this information, it comes together to create the perfect storm for your business when you align your niche with your mission and your values. So let's talk about building your unique niche. What are the steps you need to take in order to build your niche? I'm glad you asked. First of all, you want to craft your niche story. Your niche service or product comes from a few things that I've mentioned, such as lived experience, expertise, passion, but there's a story behind this. And that niche story is going to be the tool that you use to connect with your target audience. And we all know that marketing can be a very big challenge for your products and services, but when you understand your niche story and you can articulate that into a narrative, that's when you're going to be able to communicate why your product or service matters and why it's going to benefit them above all else. Conducting market research and validating your niche is a crucial step to take before you launch. You can package your niche offering in so many different ways, and you may have already experienced that something tied up with a different bow may sell far better. So you need to do your market research so you know which box your target audience will be attracted to. If you think about going for a massage, for example, for a sore neck, there are many different ways to receive that service. Do you want to lay down on a table with your top off? Do you want to sit in a chair? Do you want remedial massage, relaxation massage, Thai? A massage isn't just a massage. So, how are you presenting your product or service? And having done your market research and crafting your niche story, your marketing becomes 10 times easier. Your product or service is going to be aligned with you and your brand and your target audience. All this connects with your audience and it's going to be based on something that feels very natural and authentic. And of course, once you have created your niche and understood your niche, you want to continually refine it. And the way you do that is that once you put your product or service out into the marketplace, you want to invite feedback. Feedback is absolutely crucial because it's a direct link to how well this is going to sell. Oftentimes, people are very afraid to invite feedback because they're scared of the negative. The negative is absolutely your best way to learn. You want to invite the negative because this is the only opportunity you've got to make improvements. Your niche product or service is not going to stay the same forever. It does need to keep up with the times. You're going to have to change and evolve. So don't try and be perfect today because today's perfect is tomorrow's imperfect. So embrace the imperfection, invite the feedback so that you can continuously refine what you have. So let's talk about a few of the niches for coaches or consultants or course creators. And I want to demonstrate here how a niche ties so beautifully and is so much more impactful when you have your niche product or service and you understand the target audience that it's for. So let's consider some of these niches. For example, remote work productivity coach, a sustainable business coach, things like that. They don't look too much when they're standalone. But when they're paired with the particular target audience that this is going to marry to beautifully, it has so much more impact. And this is where you're getting highly focused in your business. So your niche might be remote work productivity, but you're going to be targeting rural workers in the finance industry. And these are just examples I've just pulled out of a hat. But can you see how these two components of niche and target market need to be clarified and you need to be specific? Here we have some other options. And of course, the last one I've popped in there is mine. And can you recognize that it is partly trend based because I dive into AI? However, the impact comes when I add my target audience. And I work with time poor business owners, and not all, but most of them do have ADHD. This is the two components that you want to put together for a really powerful business. So, thank you for joining me. I hope that you have learned something a little bit more and gained a little more clarity around niching in your business. I do have a workbook that you can download, and this is one that you can fill in that can help you sort of work through the components of finding your niche. And I look forward to hearing about your success. Thank you.